Oh, you really were here.
Welcome to a new episode of Much Ado About Nothing. I didn't know if you were going to say anything, so I did it. There we go. Hey, Mike. All right.
Howdy, everybody.
Okay. Chaotic. Sorry.
What happened?
I don't know.
It was going so well.
Okay, Joanne, you can go now. Go ahead.
The background's amazing, by the way. Immaculate.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Appreciate it. No, welcome to an all-new episode of Much Ado About Nothing, episode 15, titled Kobe Numbers. In all love to my boy David, our Superman, our hero. I believe the Superman movie will be putting up Kobe numbers, so shout out to him. What was I gonna say? We have a fun show in store for you guys. I want to welcome in Didge and Mike. What's going on, guys?
How's it going? Thanks for having me. Mike is muted, so
He's like, "Don't
It
worry."
happens all the time. It's not me. It's the microphone. But happy to be here. Thank you.
Make sure you guys go check out both Mike and Didge over on what's it called? TikTok. Sorry.
I didn't know where you were going.
I didn't either.
My life, bro. I couldn't. I did see you guys post a bunch recently, so make sure you guys plug that before the end of the show. And as always, Trayvon is here with me. Joel is somewhere. I don't know. He's somewhere in America, I think. I don't know. He'll be here at some point. I think. I don't know what that man does. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So yesterday we did go live for about like an hour to talk a little bit about our non-spoiler thoughts on Superman. Just out of respect to you guys who weren't able to see it on Tuesday, probably won't be able to see it tomorrow or Friday or Saturday. But we didn't want to not give our thoughts. So I want to start with Didge and Mike, you guys giving your non-spoiler thoughts. And then Trayvon, you can piggyback off of anything Didge and Mike give. Didge, I'll start with you. What were your non-spoiler thoughts on your first watch of Superman?
So, as a Superman fan, like I think I definitely made the waves on Geek Set earlier this year because my brother didn't even know that Superman was my favorite superhero.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume a lot of people probably didn't know. This was everything I wanted. This was so good. I left the theater like I want to go see this again. Like I'll be there tomorrow. Well, I can't go tomorrow unfortunately, but I'll probably be there Friday to see it again. It was such a good time. It felt, and I know Mike talked about it in his Superman non-spoiler review, how it felt like a comic book. And it really did. Like I heard people talking about that as we were leaving, how it just felt like you were reading a comic book. It felt like a great start to a universe where even though it's not the brand new beginning of it, like obviously because it's lived in, it still feels like you are, like obviously you're getting your first glance, but it feels like you are. Like it feels like it's letting you know, hey, you're new here. Let me show you what's been going on. And the way that they took you along that ride was just so much fun. Like it had a lot of laugh. It had moments where I teared up. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm glad nobody is sitting right next to me because there were a few moments where I was like, yo, and like Mike was sitting right behind me. So I'm like, damn, he gonna see me wiping my eyes a lot. Like
I thought he had something in his eye. Not gonna hold you.
And like it was just it hit everything. So like I'm way more excited for the DC universe than I was yesterday, and I was already excited. So it's up from here.
Okay.
No, I loved everything you said. I think the most important thing you said is it being a lived-in world and it feeling organic. Because what I love about it is that it's like if when you're growing up and your parent teaches you like, hey, I love sports, I'm about to show you what sports is, right? And he shows you and they show you their favorite team and you're like, not only am I hooked on this team, but I now want to go back and find out about like the history, what came before, and all this movie made me do was just immediately start playing out like what came before and how long certain people have been active and how many of the different active people is Superman familiar with, and so many things ran through my head. I made a joke to Joel about a certain someone maybe heading back to a certain dark and gloomy place when he decided to dash away. I was just like, I think I know where he's going. So it was just it was beautiful. And as far as tearing, to me, no, I think more of us need to embrace that, because if it's one thing James Gunn can do is make a grown man cry. I cried for Guardians 3. I told you guys that before. I cried for this. It just seems like anything James Gunn puts his name on is gonna find a way to trigger me to get me to cry. So that's big kudos to him. But enough from me. Mike, your initial thoughts on Superman.
This movie is just a ton of fun. You know, like I respect the simplicity of it. You know, like we're in that post phase 3 era of comic book movies where it has to be Avengers Infinity War every single time. And I like that we're able just to say, hey, Clark's having kind of a crappy week.
Yeah.
And this is what's going on in his life. This is how he's dealing with the ramifications of it. Like it's a very personal story. Not to spoil the plot of this, but it's really just Clark's having a bad day and Lex Luthor's a dick. That's the plot of the movie. And I respect that. And I think if that's the nature James Gunn wants to take, at least for the start, obviously you can build into bigger things down the line. I'm just glad we went back to basics and we told a really solid Superman story. And David Corenswet is just perfect for this interpretation of Superman. And I say this interpretation specifically because I don't know if David Corenswet can do a Zack Snyder movie. And I don't know if Henry Cavill could have done this James Gunn movie. So I finally see that casting that was so controversial and why they did it, because he just brings a certain boyish, like Boy Scout charm to this role that I think is needed for this interpretation of the character. And I really dug it.
Yeah, I God damn, like you worded that so perfectly. Hold on, man. No, I mean, I completely agree. To me, I don't know, man. I feel like there was a recipe that James cooked up with David that, you know what it is? Okay. You know why I love that you said that, Mike? You know what I compare your analogy to? You remember how Tracy McGrady just did an interview, just did a podcast where he was saying, bro, if you put me next to Shaq, me and Shaq not winning like 4 championships? And it's like, I feel like to say that is a little bit to slight Kobe, because that's you saying you think you could do exactly what Kobe did. And albeit you're gifted, I don't think it's that simple. So the reason I say that is I think what Zach and Henry had was special for what they were doing, and they found a way to make things work for each other. There's just something special about what James and David had in his vision for David, that I don't think you can just swap it out and just go, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with acting ability. I don't think any of us are going to sit here and act like Henry Cavill can't act. It's just sometimes it's the right things go together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I always think to myself, I'm like, we almost had Josh Brolin as our Batman in BVS, and it's like, I don't know how Josh Brolin and Zack Snyder would have meshed, right? So
fun isn't something one considers when bringing justice to Gotham City.
Yeah, it would have been definitely a downer. That man just does like brooding too well. No, but it felt good, man. Like I just don't know how else to describe it. But I will say, Didge, I think you might have heard this yesterday, but my only issue, like big issue with this movie was, I get it. Movie is called Superman. Completely understand. I didn't get enough Clark. Like, I go into this movie and it's kind of just like, I thought for a movie that kept trying to showcase the humanity of Superman, the human side of Superman, it's like there is in his mind an actual human side of Superman, and it's Clark. And I felt like we got a little bit of Clark, but those Clark scenes are the ones I love the most. That scene with him in Pa Kent outside, I love that scene. I did want more of Clark. But again, when I say that was my big issue, it does not detract from how great I thought the movie was or make me knock it and score at all. But I'm curious, before I ask Didge the same question, Mike, what are your thoughts on that? And maybe should I look at it a different way instead of looking at it like I was maybe short-ended on Clark?
Yeah, I would say you need to look at it slightly differently. I think I said in my review too that I definitely wanted more Daily Planet stuff.
Yeah.
Like we cast all these actors in these roles, and we like Steve Lombard does nothing. He's just kind of there, and it's like, okay, he didn't really need to be in the
Cat Grant. I agree.
Sure, definitely giving us way more Cat Grant. No, but that's like in that aspect. If you want to see more of Clark's world, I totally agree. But Superman is not Batman, where Clark is one and the same, right? So every moment with Lois, every moment with his parents, every moment, him with the Justice Gang, that's still him being Clark. Like they are well aware of who he is, and so all of those are Clark moments that I think we might be attributing to Superman moments as well, because there's just not like an even split between the two, like Batman and Bruce Wayne, right? But if we're talking about like secret identity version of Clark, yeah, we did not get enough of that guy throughout this film. But this entire movie is him trying to struggling with those two halves of himself, really. Like, hey, I thought I was here to do this one thing. I'm trying to do this one thing here. But also, how do I balance being what my space parents want, what my Earth parents want, and then the guy who exists in between all of that, And so not getting enough of Clark, I feel like is kind of the point of he doesn't know how to balance it himself either, really. But on the flip side, if we are just talking about like getting more of him and Jimmy and Kat and Steve and Perry, that probably fully understand because, yeah, we shortchanged them quite a bit in this movie.
Digits, I pass it to you. Mike makes a great point. You see, again, not spoiling anything, but you see Clark struggle with that when he's having that interview with Lois.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of him trying to go between both and him kind of frustrating himself on the idea of like, I don't think she knows how to be a girlfriend and a reporter. I don't think he knows how to be Clark and Superman. So it's both of them telling each other, like, hey, I'm not good at this. Like, I don't really know how to be what you need. And Superman's kind of like, I don't know how to omit what I need in service of what you're trying to get.
That scene specifically it's the entire like almost thesis of this argument, right? Of he's going back and forth uncontrollably throughout that entire conversation. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the point of like, yeah, Clark and Superman are one in the same, and him putting on a specific mask when he's out in public as Superman or he's at work as Clark Kent is something that he is still struggling to kind of navigate. So I think, yeah, you bring that scene up encapsulates his entire struggle and his entire story arc in this movie, where he can't control it. He just flips back and forth because to him, they're not dual identities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Trayvon.
No, go ahead, Ditch. Go ahead. I was just saying, yeah, go ahead, Ditch.
Well, no, I know Trayvon was about to say something, and he hasn't had a chance to talk yet, so I was gonna let him.
It's fine. No, I was just gonna say, I think it all depends on who he's talking to, more than anything. Without getting to spoiler, there's a reason why he talks the way he talks to certain people. That's how I feel, and that's why you get what you get with him. I don't know how to say that without spoiling it, but yeah, y'all know what I mean. Like he can, there's certain people he talks to that way for a reason.
I will say James Gunn is on record saying that was his approach to this movie of, hey, when he's with certain groups of people, he's essentially, you guys would get this. He's code switching.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, I'm putting on the Superman voice when I'm around this group of people. I'm putting on the Clark Kent face when I'm with this group of people. So yeah, you're not wrong. That was entirely intentional to read it that way.
Yeah.
And, I mean, honestly, you can see that even from the trailer when he sits up to start the interview. Like that's it. It's very much like regardless if you know code switching or not, you can see the physical change. Like his mannerisms got more sure of himself. He got more assertive. He got more authoritative. Like all of that happened. And I think to what Mike was saying, that's very much the crux of the movie is because that's sort of the mask. Like Clark is just the bumbling Kansas boy. Like that is what he is. And you can even see it when he's Superman. But he's physically always trying to put on the mask of I know what Superman needs to be. And so I have to almost go against what I've been taught all my life and put this on. And you can we were able to see all throughout the movie how much of a struggle that was, where the innate nature of him got him into trouble. Without going into spoiler territory, almost everything that happened was because his nature goes against what Superman needed to be. And that caused the issue.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's worth noting that like you're right, this Superman is more of the mask than anything. Like even when he's talking to Lois, and this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler, but he's just like, Superman doesn't do social media, and he starts speaking in third person. It's like it's all this part of him is very much the facade, and it kind of feels like All Might in a sense, and All Might is inspired by Superman in My Hero Academia, but like All Might puts on the stupid grin and he gets really big and like gets really buff. And he tries to do that to assure people that everything's going to be okay. I think you feel that in Clark's portrayal here of what the Superman character is of, yeah, I'm larger than life. I'm big. I'm smiling. I'm here to save the day. But I'm also kind of broken inside with everything that's going on. And that inner turmoil of Clark Kent is very much present. So that's why, back to the original question, I think Clark Kent is very much present in this film. It's just a different look at Clark than we're probably accustomed to, which might be a little jarring.
Yeah, if it was... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say if Trayvon wanted to say what he was putting in the...
I'm not, no.
I think he felt like that might have been too spoilery. That's why I think he put it there. And even just to chat on that real quick, I do agree with it. Like, it does seem like how... It's, again, when you're talking code switching, like if we take it back to that analogy, when you are around people who know both sides of you, who are able to sort of exist in both sides of that, you do feel more comfortable. So you do talk to them more as yourself. You know the true nature of your being comes through because you don't have to really put on that facade, which, like we were saying, Superman, at least to me for sure, feels like that's the part that he has to really work to always show, because at his heart, he is, like I said, just a tense farm boy.
AJ, I swear to God.
Look, I thought that immediately. I said, what's going on?
Oh my God. I was in private chat still, so coming back to that was crazy.
Yeah. This is immediately what I thought too. Yep.
Oh boy.
Something
we
going on.
We can't even address that because it's spoilery.
Yeah.
You know,
it's in the comment.
Saying that spoilery is just gonna throw the rest of the chat off. They're like, "What you mean? What is going on in this movie?"
There's no other way you can do it though.
It explains a lot. Tell you that.
So I'm curious.
Something gotta give.
Listen, man.
I am curious. Didge, I'll start with you. Who is your standout?
Mr. Terrific, 100%.
Yes.
That man, I was talking to Mike and my buddy Doug right after it. That he was just purely a black man. Like that was a black man who has to deal with all of this. Like I think it was you, Mike, who was saying, and we were talking about it, how when Crypto came the second time, oh my God, I can't talk anymore. I'm done. You already know who I said. I'm going to go into. I'm too excited. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, it's in the trailer. To be fair, Didge, it's in the final trailer, so you were fine.
I didn't see the final trailer, so I don't know what's in it and not.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm letting you know you're safe. Crypto shows up, and dude's just like, "You brought that dog here, man."
Okay,
it's in the trailer. Everybody,
I'm glad that's in the trailer because that's the moment where I was like, "Oh, this is my favorite character. Like, this is amazing."
Oh yeah, that was straight up a black man's reaction. That was so funny.
Who was your standout, Mike?
Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, highlight of the movie. I would say Mr. Terrific as well, but like Jimmy Olsen's he's so funny. Like I didn't expect him to have a whole subplot in this movie.
It was great.
Yeah. Jimmy was so funny. Skylar, for a character who hasn't been on screen really since like the 50s, because he's not a big part of the Christopher Reeve movies either. So him having like a major role in this film, I thought was nice. I just wish we got him and Clark a little bit more because his whole moniker is Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, and we don't get him as Superman's pal that much in this movie. He is just another like supporting character throughout the film. But yeah, I didn't expect to get that much Jimmy. So he was a highlight. As a Superman fan, I'm glad Jimmy and Lois got a lot of attention in this film.
I'd agree.
Jimmy was very important. I say that.
He's unreasonably important, and that's ripped straight from the comics. Y'all know Darkseid's first appearance is in a Jimmy Olsen comic book. Like he just is randomly the most important character in the universe at times, and it's just so funny.
That's a great nod back to that though, then where it's like you said, he's definitely unreasonably important in this film, and it's just like, oh yeah, if you know, that's why.
Yeah. I think that's again, as a comic reader, it brought me so much joy because, like, of course, Jimmy's one of the keys to how this works out. Because, like, of course he is. That makes total sense. But yeah, Jimmy and Baby Joey, because of course we stand Baby Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Baby Joey. Trayvon, did you want to go over again who your standout was?
Oh, it's Mr. Terrific. I enjoyed him quite a bit. Very happy to see a new iteration of him.
You ain't like the old iteration?
We love you, Curtis.
I love that he was gay, but other than that, no. There's a lot of problems. The hair thing was weird. This one, they didn't do that. He was very cool, so much technology. Love that. Love that about him. That was fun.
He gets an action scene in this movie that is just so good, dude.
Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot.
I need that jacket. I was talking about it yesterday. I was like, it was too expensive, but after seeing it in the movie, I'm like, I might have to splurge.
They need to make a zip-up hoodie that looks like that. Then I'll buy it.
That's fair.
Yeah,
it's a good jacket. As soon as we saw the set photos and we saw the costume, I'm like, oh, that jacket's gonna be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you, John?
I don't remember what I said yesterday. What did I say yesterday?
Oh my god!
As somebody who wasn't here yesterday, you can just say the same thing again. That's totally fine.
No. I didn't say that in like terms of like not wanting to repeat myself.
He don't remember who it was.
Oh, even better. We might get something different, y'all.
I mean,
what a dead change would be. Let's see.
I think no, because I know I went into saying like obviously all of ours. Well, not all of ours. Mine was Superman, but outside of Superman, I want to say I think I went Guy Gardner.
You did. I remember that now.
Nathan Fillion is actually he's so good as Guy to the point where it almost breaks the character because I don't know if I'm supposed to like you, but I kind of like you because Nathan Fillion is just so charming.
Yeah, it was sad. I know we were supposed to not like him, and I was here for his thing.
So I see. That's the thing I love about him is that he's not meant to be disliked. He's just meant to be the constant thorn that you're just like, oh my god, bro. Like,
nah, man. When Batman got beef with you, I got beef with you too.
He was a little too cocky, though. I say that much.
But it
was funny.
Yeah, I thought he was great. His action scenes I thought were great. There were so many misleading things from the trailer. Let me just tell you now, as someone who's seen it, you've not seen anything from the trailers. There's so many things that mislead you And the structure and the sequence of everything is definitely the biggest thing to catch me off guard. But Guy Gardner to me was a standout, mainly because I now can fathom a Green Lantern in this universe easier. For when Lanterns comes out next year. As long as they do it, along the same lines of visually how they did this, and they don't cheapen out. It's going to be fun to see them explore the Green Lanterns more. And Nathan Fillion was a great way to start that off. But I do want to give my girl Hawk Girl some love. We didn't get enough from her, but the little bit we got was all I needed. So I appreciate her. I very much do. I very much appreciate her. It's been I tell you what, whoever her goddamn agent is, God bless.
Man, her agent been killing it.
They work hard. God bless. We welcome in Joel.
God bless her.
Joel.
What up?
Oh, Joel, here for you. We had a fan comment I wanted you to address before we go any further.
Oh my god! I knew you were gonna go to that. What
I
the
did too.
hell?
That was for you, Joel.
Yeah, I mean, he was my standout, so makes sense.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The third leg. That third leg was pronounced.
That was the standout part.
That was,
Oh my God.
Ever since
I
Jimmy
hate all of
got
you.
on screen, I looked over. Joel never blinked. No. So, Joel, sorry.
No.
We were going over our standouts. Dage was Mr. Terrific. Mike, I think yours is Mr. Terrific, and Baby Joey.
Jimmy Olsen, but
Jimmy
yes.
Olsen. Sorry, Jimmy Olsen and
Is that the name of Jimmy Olsen's third leg, Baby Joey?
Oh my God.
Do not tell Metamorpho that.
Yeah, please. Trayvon, yours was Mr. Terrific. We knew that.
It was Mr. Terrific, and also I'm leaning toward Lex a little bit now too, based on some of his actions.
Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor. I'm gonna.
And y'all know
what
actions that
Trayvon
meant.
said,
Y'all know
but
actions that
Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor, probably my favorite. I don't even think it's not even probably for sure my favorite Lex. Like he played that for sure.
Do you mean live action Lex or period?
Yeah, live action.
I was about to say
live action.
I'm shocked in the live action thing.
No, hold on now. I'm not calling him wrong. Hold on.
I love Gene Hackman for the OG. I thought he was amazing. And I won't lie, the movie god awful. The man is a human being, god awful. But I will not act like I did not like Superman Returns Lex Luthor.
You know,
That
I
was
hear
the
you.
bright spot of that movie.
I hear you, but I'm also a Didge.
He played the hell out of that role. Like,
Oh no, I don't trust me.
He did.
I
He
cannot
sure did.
wait to see where else we can explore this character. So I don't necessarily disagree. It's just when I think of Lex, I personally have enjoyed aspects of every Lex live action we've ever had.
fair.
I believe there's really good things in each of them. I think what makes David and Nicholas so special is that I think they were able to grab from everything that came before
Mm-hmm.
and almost perfect it. You know what I'm saying? Again, just in my opinion. So when you said that, it just took me it was like a kind of a step back because I'm like, I did love those last few legs, but yeah, if I had to say, yeah, he'd probably be the best one.
It's just like
I don't like how we acting like Jesse Eisenberg didn't happen, by the way.
Well,
I was going to.
I'm kidding.
I enjoyed him a lot.
I wouldn't go hold you. I was going to, but we can
He
talk.
went and named Kevin Spacey. Is all I'm saying. It's like the man who shall not be named.
I did not say his name. I did not say his name.
The man that should not be named got a shout out before Jesse Eisenberg. That was hate.
Well, to be fair,
House of
it's
Cards was
hard
great.
to
I'm
mention
sorry.
Jesse Eisenberg because to love Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal as Lex, you have to love where you saw they were going. And most people just look at it more so for what we got and less of where it was going. I am more of that one end credit scene of him talking to Deathstroke showed me that there was a really good Lex somewhere in there that we were getting close to, and
That
then
wasn't
everything
enough.
fell apart.
that wasn't enough. Like
No,
I'll give you that.
I appreciated it.
I'm not, and that is fair. You were right. It felt like it was going in the right direction, but when you take like 20 steps back and then you start going in the right direction, that's not enough. But
DCEU in a nutshell, really.
But no, Nicholas Hoult and David, like their interactions together were great. Like Nicholas, like he played menacing. He played super smart. Like I think it was you again, Mike. I was watching your review right before this, so I think that's why a lot of the points are right in my head. He was it felt like he was the smartest person in the room every time. Like it was insane. And then even like he still even had like kind of like a cool factor. Like we saw it in the trailer when they all stepped off the plane in the Arctic. Like I know his head was freezing, but he like it don't look as cool if I have a hat on. So I gotta just have the small glasses and walk out here freezing.
Like wear no hats, dog.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's not cool enough.
His arrogance.
So it was for sure my favorite interpretation of Lex.
I want to talk about AJ's comment down here because we were going back and forth about if this is the best Lex. Second DC villain of all time?
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean,
Like-
he was evil.
Woo.
I don't know. To me,
He was evil and something else too.
Oh my god. Okay.
that's difficult, mainly because I know for a
Can't wait
fact
till next week.
number one is.
Oh, don't wait till I was done drinking.
I don't even know what was said. I think I want to keep it that way.
Trayvon's being Trayvon. Gotta love
Yeah.
it.
No, that's interesting, AJ. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, we gotta unpack that.
Yeah, that's.
Who's won then?
I assume Joker,
Yeah,
Joker from where?
Dark Knight. I assume.
Yeah, Heath Ledger's Joker is AJ's number one.
Hmm.
What if it's not though? Like, what if he just throws us all for a loop?
It's just Christopher Walken from Batman Returns.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem, right? If he's saying Nicholas Hoult,
Yeah.
right, that he just saw for the first time is number 2 all time, right? When you think through the history of live action DC villains, not many of them stand out outside of Heath Ledger's Joker, really. Just like unanimously stand out, right?
Yeah,
Like,
fair.
I don't know if many people would have him too. You know what I'm saying? So
Fair.
I can assume that's his number one. What did he say?
I mean, just a quick rundown, not to derail the whole show, but you do have Joker. You have both General Zod's, which are pretty iconic
They're
characters.
both good, yeah.
They're both really good. Jack Nicholson's Joker is also really good.
Mhm.
You know, Danny DeVito's Penguin, iconic. Colin Farrell's Penguin, iconic. We just got the Riddler, who was also awesome in the Batman.
New Riddler. Oh, Jim Carrey
Ezra
Riddler.
Miller in the
Oh,
Flash.
Zod is his first.
Zod from
I heard that, Mike. It didn't go over my head, Mike. It did not go over my head.
Somebody was gonna catch it.
I missed
appreciate
it.
it.
You said?
No, we will not repeat it.
No, please repeat it because I missed it. 'Cause AJ's comment through.
I was naming villains, and I said Ezra Miller in the Flash. I just threw
that's
that
right.
in there.
That is great.
He technically was the villain.
Yes, I'm not wrong.
No, that is great.
What was I gonna say? I don't know. I really have to give that some thought.
We'll do a
maybe I
ranking
gotta
one
see
day. We'll just
Superman
make that a
again.
video.
Maybe I have to see Superman again, as far as greatest villain ever. I might need to see that movie one more time, but I'm also not that high on live action DC villains, so for me it would not be a long list at all.
Y'all won't like my list.
So,
Yes, we do.
Y'all won't like my list.
Probably Poison Ivy.
not gonna
Number
lie.
one. Like,
Black Adam's gonna be up there for
It's your
sure.
list, Trayvon. It doesn't matter what we think. It's your list.
yeah, it's your
It's
opinion.
your list. So
Uh-huh.
if you want to have Poison Ivy number one, by all
I
means,
mean,
have Poison Ivy
This is
number
the one woman show. Listen, love my girl. Listen,
You do you,
I
bro.
too love Uma Thurman, so I get it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that movie.
But yeah, no, for me, I don't know. I don't think I'd be able to do that. Not yet. Yeah, not yet. Oh, and he said Zod was his number one.
Yeah,
Like Man of Steel.
yeah, Man of Steel's
He was
Very
good. He was very good. Very good.
wow.
I will find him.
Yep.
All right.
Iconic.
Yeah, a lot of good lines.
Yeah, Joel, did you have anything else that you wanted to chip in about non-spoiler for Superman?
I didn't really chip on anything yet. What was the question you asked me?
Who was your standout?
Oh yeah. I actually meant that. Jimmy was my standout, not because of the AJ's joke. I just didn't expect Jimmy to have as big a role as he ended up having.
He was so fun.
It was a breath of fresh air for the character of Jimmy Olsen, the character that kind of gets pushed to the side a lot for him. I enjoyed what they did. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed a lot of characters in this, but I was just surprised by how well he was portrayed and acted, and just without spoiling anything, like how they used him. So I was, oh shit, Jimmy, good shit. But yeah, Miss Terrific, I'm sure it was said. I think Trayvon said it. Miss Terrific is awesome. I love Miss Terrific. I've loved Miss Terrific for a long time. I want to see the Terrifics so much sooner now than I ever did. I would love that. Guy Gardner, nailed it. He nailed it. So yeah, there's a couple fucking Lois. She was fantastic as Lois Lane.
Pride of Milwaukee.
Fucking
414.
amazing as Lois Lane. So I could keep going, honestly. There was a couple of people I really enjoyed. Those probably the most, because I guess I probably, and some characters kind of got shafted. So those ones stood out, man.
Shout out to Crypto, man. Such a good boy.
He was great.
Well, he wasn't a good boy. He was a menace, but
He was a good boy when it counted.
He was a good bad boy. He's such a good bad boy.
He gets a treat and belly rubs tonight. That's all I have to say.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. He's hard of hearing, apparently, but aside from that,
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you said that, Joel, because now that's a shoehorn on how I can say what I'm trying to say without the way I was gonna say it.
Okay.
It made more sense as to why it seemed as though Crypto was so hard of listening was something that didn't compute. It made so much more sense once you see the movie. Why it felt like Crypto just can't fucking listen to save his life. And I love the answer to that. So that was a lot of fun. Was that safe to say? I don't think I said anything, right?
No, you didn't say anything, but also some dogs just be hard headed. I've had Max for 2 years, and he still don't listen. It's just that's just how they be sometimes.
Sometimes you gotta beat them.
But no, I think
Peter, don't come after us. That was all Joel.
Yeah.
I don't even like animals like that, so don't worry about me.
But I think John is also still right though. Dogs do be hard headed, but also the reason why Crypto is hard headed makes so much sense.
Yes. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And I do want to give a shout out. Last thing, I do want to give a shout out to the robots. They were awesome.
They were awesome, especially Gary. I didn't huge shout out to Gary.
Okay. Yeah. We'll Yes. 12 or 14, whichever one.
That was 4.
Yeah.
4. Shit. Sorry. Yeah, no, this was such a great time, and I can't wait till we can do an actual full spoiler review. Because there's just so many things to break down. Luckily, we're going to, when we see it Friday, we're going to be able to watch it as purists, where we can kind of spot everything we didn't see the first time.
or didn't get or pay attention well enough.
Yeah.
Like, specifically that one scene.
Yes.
Fuckers.
Inside that specific place, because I'm like, whoa, hold on, pause. No, you can't do that shit.
I don't know why I didn't think that would be more important when he said it, but I remember him talking about it, and I'm like, I just kind of brushed it off until I saw it in the movie, and I'm like, oh fuck, it really is something important.
You want to know why? Because you talking about James, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's because sometimes when James speaks for future tense, right? And it's like at some point you'll see it, matriculate, and then other times it's just like, oh shit, you meant now. Oh shit! Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, bro.
Yeah, that's probably how I looked at it. I'm like, that's like in all encumbering. No, it's like, yeah, it actually means shit. Like, cool.
All right.
Anyone have anything else about
I'll talk anymore. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I have already almost spoiled, so it's like I had to stop myself once.
I'm pretty sure I already spoiled something, so let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, outside of just like Superman being dope, and I'm glad we're able to just like do classic Superman stuff without it being an issue anymore. Of like, well, nobody's gonna like this. Like he goes and he saves a dog in this movie, not his own. He saves a dog in this movie and a squirrel. Like
squirrel was the greatest touch. Was saving that squirrel. I was just like, bro, that's Superman, bro.
There were moments in this movie where, like, I remember seeing the behind the scenes, that scene.
I'm so glad that James Gunn, like we were all complaining about before, but I'm so glad he talks as much as he does, because we technically haven't spoiled anything he hasn't already said. Like he's already been on the record saying Superman saves a squirrel. That's why I can talk about it. Yeah. But it's like,
and Mike, I'll say this also. Me and Joel were talking about this heading into the theater the other day.
Yeah.
When James came out and said, you guys don't have to necessarily worry about spoilers because there's nothing massive in this movie that if you hear about it, it'll take away from your experience of watching it. That always sounds bullshit, but as someone who's now seen it, no, that's pretty accurate. There's nothing really that could spoil to ruin your experience. Like the whole movie. There's nothing to ruin the entire movie.
It's weird, but that's true. That's like, oh man, there's no. I mean,
no.
The thing is, when he said that, I fully believed him, because unlike most directors, he's the one cutting his own trailers for the most part.
Right.
So like, when other DC directors may say that, it might not be true. But whenever it's a James Gunn movie, he is so involved in the marketing of his own projects that I'm like, I believe him. If he says he's not spoiling anything, I fully believed it. That's why I didn't stop watching trailers. Usually I do after like trailer 2, but I'm like, hey, he said it's no spoiler, so I believe him.
You know, it's funny though, Mike, because yes, it's cool that he was able to say it and it was like legit. The thing that makes it special is I can't think of many other superhero movies that have that luxury. Even if you wanted to say, like, probably the only other time I felt it was maybe Matt Reeves, because he's another person that's super hands-on. I don't think you could have necessarily told me anything of that Batman movie and ruined the experience. But, like, could you picture if you head into Infinity War and someone just like, hey, by the way, everyone disappears at the end? That does ruin the entire experience of the movie.
But we did get that. Remember? Ruffalo said that in the interview.
It did.
Ruffalo said that in the interview. But he still said that. He said everybody died.
If you heard that, that stuck with you.
Not everybody died, though. Only half of everybody died.
That's true.
But when he said that, I took that more so as like, because to me, I don't remember Mark Ruffalo before that point really spoiling a whole bunch of shit, let alone something that big. So I thought it was a joke. I never would have thought Marvel would be brave enough to Star Wars this at the end, where the bad guy wins.
Oh, you see?
I didn't think it was a joke because of the way whatchamacallit reacted to him.
That, but also just reading comics, I'm like, that half the universe gets snapped out. And so him saying that kind of just confirmed my existing suspicions at that point, to be fair.
Yeah,
that was me, though.
I honestly didn't think they were actually going to do that.
Once you tell me it's a 2-parter, I definitely part 2's got to do something with this, right?
That is
For
fair.
me, I was just like, they all come back anyway. I don't care.
If it was just a standalone, like an Age of Ultron, right? It was just Avengers 3 with no confirmation of 4, probably not. But like once you say 2-part, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna lose. Why else would we need a second part if they don't lose?
No, that's fair.
That is always the answer to that question. Money.
That is also fair.
That's how we get 3 Venom movies. Money.
Sure did.
Money. All right. I do want to give a huge shout out to Scarlett Johansson, who has now become the highest grossing actor of all time. Just barely edging her way past Samuel L. Jackson.
He'll have like 6 movies this year. That'll change.
I mean, that's fair. But she did just do Jurassic Park, and I think that made a shit ton of money. So I think that's your number one.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So Sam's going to have to find a way to squeeze his ass in either Doomsday or Secret Wars to really get back on top.
I mean, I'm sure he's probably in at least one of those, but also that man does so many movies.
You know what's also funny? You know what also helps Samuel L. Jackson stay that high? Is that he'll do 50 straight to Netflix movies that somehow are paying him.
They went into the theater for 1 week.
Right. So you're just like, you know what? I don't need to do these big movies like everybody else. I'll just sneak in and sneak out. That was you, Joel.
I know. That's why I was like, fucking. There's no secret text with Juwan.
What?
The whole house heard that shit.
Laptop? It's my laptop, not my phone.
Why is it on your phone?
It's connected to my phone.
Oh my lord!
I don't have Apple and not connect everything. Anyway,
I don't mean to disrespect Scarlett Johansson or anyone else on this list, but I just want to highlight Tom Cruise being on this list and not being in the MCU. Like the MCU is doing a lot of heavy lifting on that top 10 list when you look at it.
Absolutely right.
It's impossible, bro.
Tom Cruise is that guy.
That Crazy. Guy knows how to keep those Mission Impossible movies, keeping food on the table. That is funny that everyone on this list has been in a Marvel movie outside from him.
Well, yeah, because they're in the highest grossing films of all time. And so it's like, of course they'll be on this list because they were in like 4 Avengers movies and 2 Captain Americas and an Iron Man or whatever.
It's gonna be hilarious when we look back like 20 years from now on Samuel L. Jackson's career and we go, what the fuck was he in? And it's like, no, the better question is, what wasn't he in? Man was in Jurassic Park. Man was in Avengers. Man was in Star Wars. Like, he was hitting all the big pinnacles, man. He was hitting them. Smart man. Very smart man. Very smart man. All right. Let's move on. So apparently Joel's telling me I can trust these people because he sent it to the group chat. So
it's a rumor. It's always that's definitely a rumor.
You didn't fix it because of who was saying the rumor, is what I'm saying.
I trust him enough to spread that rumor.
That's what I'm saying.
But at the end of the day, it's a rumor.
I trust them enough to spread their bullshit.
Yeah.
Crazy thing real quick because I think these two stories might be connected. Apparently, there's a rumor going around that we could be seeing Norman Osborn in the MCU soon. And I'm choosing to connect this dot. But apparently, Jeff Snyder was teasing the idea that there is a huge casting story of the day, he was calling it. To me, I'm assuming because Spider-Man starts filming in like 3 weeks, I'm connecting those two dots. So I'm connecting the dot of I think that Norman Osborn casting is probably Cole Domingo. That's probably that's probably where that's going, in my opinion. That's where I think those two lines get connected. Joel, I'll start with you. Am I way off there, or does it not just seem like that could be a possibility of those two things connecting? The rumor of us getting Norman Osborn, and then Jeff teasing that he has a big casting news coming at some point.
It could just be a coincidence with Jeff. Because what's big to him might not be big to us. That's the only thing with him. Because to him, he knows what's big to us, but what's big to us is definitely not big to him. He doesn't really care about comic book movies like that, you know. So it could be, he could be right. It could be he knows what superhero casting is. That's going to draw his shit. Period. That's going to draw anybody's shit. So I don't know.
He said tonight. I'm waiting for him to tell us what it is.
I mean, if it is Norman,
Hurry up.
because there's already been rumors that if he's in it, it wouldn't be in Spider-Man. So it wouldn't be in this Spider-Man. That's what I'm saying.
Hey, Jamie.
Wait,
So,
what did you just say?
I'm saying that the rumor is that if he is introduced, it probably won't be in this coming Spider-Man. You know what I mean? They might tease Oscorp, but not. They won't show Osborn until maybe a different project or a different, not future Spider-Man. Which again, would probably be post Secret Wars.
I got a question regarding that because, Juan, you were saying that you think it would be Coleman Domingo as Norman. Is that as big considering he already did the voice acting for it? Like, obviously, it's still big because he'd be live action.
Yes, that's
but
big.
but no, I'm saying he already talked about how his interest in it, like how he would want to do it. So it's like I feel like big is always in terms like this is shocking, where it's like we already know that the actor's interested. We already know that him and Marvel have a relationship. It's like a continuance of where the common threat was kind of going. I would just be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm glad they did the thing that they should have done.
Marvel do a lot of talking, but never does none anything come through.
I'll say this, and I'll harken back to an argument me and Mike had last year, where Mike's stance was.
You remember our conversations that deep? I gotta watch what I'm saying now. Damn.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Stick.
You were telling me last year when I was going, when we were debating whether or not Domingo was a massive name, that if you just mentioned his name to the most random of person, would they know who he was? And you were telling me that I was not giving him enough credit as a star. And I told you, I don't see it. And as time passed, I'm watching it in real time. So when I say that Cole would be big, Didge, I mean in terms of if the average person that's like an average moviegoer or an average superhero fan or Spider-Man fan, if they know him and they know Norman, that could be really big for them. And that would be a really massive
then that's fair, yeah.
But it wouldn't be shocking to us because we constantly live in the know. But for the average person who might know him and might know of a Norman Osborn and like the actors that have played him before, or the actor two. Yeah, there's been two. You might get like, oh shit, oh that's dope. I'm excited.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
I meant in terms of that, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say I think we're overcomplicating this. It's big news because it's the main Spider-Man villain being introduced in the MCU for the first time.
Okay.
Like just pull it back a little bit, and it's like we're getting Norman Osborn, not played by Willem Dafoe, Pride of Milwaukee, Willem Dafoe.
Hey, 2 times.
Right? 2 in one show. Let's go. But no, and the ramifications of that, because I didn't expect to ever get Norman Osborn in the MCU because we've already introduced him, and it's like the idea of introducing Norman automatically is going to make the Spidey sense go off, right? Because now Peter already has that built in. Why would I trust this dude or his son or whatever's going on? Because he's already dealt with Green Goblin. Like, Green Goblin killed Aunt May in the last Spider-Man movie. So I just assumed that was a character we weren't going to revisit. So regardless of who's playing him or what's going on, if you're telling me that Norman Osborn is in a Spider-Man movie and it's not Willem Dafoe, I'm shocked already, regardless of anything else that's connected to it.
That's fair. I guess I wasn't looking at it that way. Like I said, I literally was looking at it, and I guess to Juwan's point, purely through my own lens of like, well, yeah, he said he wanted to do it. He has a relationship with Marvel. This is great. I love it. Like,
yeah. That's why I was saying we have to just step back a second, because you're right. The dots connect. He wants to do it. He's already been playing the character in some capacity. That does make logical sense, but it's also like, well, Norman showing up is the surprise.
Yeah. That's
him playing Norman, maybe not, but Norman being in live action is crazy. And you have to remember that most people don't watch the Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Plus, so they have no idea he's doing that.
That is also fair. Yeah.
But also,
by the way, hello, Jamie.
Hello, Jamie.
Hi, Swiper.
Hello. I was surprised to see everybody here. I'm like, dang. Sorry, I'm late.
You're definitely good. You're definitely good.
I was late. It's fine.
We all were late. Part of that was Trayvon's fault, but it's okay. We love him anyway.
I mean, just saying. No, but we do welcome in Jamie. What's going on, Jamie?
Nothing much, man. Came back to see some family over the holiday weekend, and I kind of just been chilling, getting fat, eat, sleep,
you're there.
repeat.
You're there now.
I am, yeah.
Is that the West Wing or the East Wing? Which
I'm gonna guess it's the West Wing.
Oh, the West Wing. Okay.
It looks like a West Wing.
Gotcha. Yeah, that does.
Yeah.
It feels like a West Wing.
Has the butler served dinner yet?
I have eaten dinner. Yes.
Give Alfred our regards.
I'll let him know.
No, but I do want to go back to what you were saying, because I think you and Mike are of the same coin. I think both sides make complete sense. And look, what was the first thing we were saying when we were talking about the Spider-Man show? The fact that it was living out MCU moments, but from a completely different lens. It's like that show is definitely like leaning into the multiverse story we're still in, right? And it's like that would be interesting if there is a Norman of this world and Peter has to navigate. I already don't trust you.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, but dog, I don't know you. It's like, but I know you. Okay. Right?
That's another thing where this is weird, though, right? Is No Way Home made a point of there's no Oscorp.
Right.
There's no records of these people because Norman was looking into that.
Right.
And so would it just be a multiverse thing? Like, how do you introduce Green Goblin? Does he just spawn somewhere? It's like, I'm a billionaire now, and I just pop up out of nowhere.
Maybe he's not Green Goblin. Maybe he's only Norman Osborn, and that's how he gets Peter to buy in, is that he doesn't have a secret villainous suit, or he doesn't have the maniacal,
but again, I'm just talking about him still having money. He didn't even have money because
that's why it's a startup.
Hey man, again, it's only rumor, and it's also like it could be something that happens after Secret Wars, which again, it's a whole now that's basically a soft reboot. So it's like,
I forgot you did say that it wouldn't.
Only
be
reason
Spider-Man.
I'm giving credence to this so much is because the first thing we heard about this fucking movie was that it might lean into multiverse. And we kept saying, well, in what capacity are you leaning into if you're not going to do Tom Hardy's Venom, right? In what capacity does this need to be a multiverse movie?
Yeah, that's one of those.
Max goes through a dimensional rift, and she has to get Spider-Man's help to defeat Vecna once and for all. That's what we're doing here.
Oh, wow. Stranger Things crossover.
Max. The first thing I thought,
I know what you were talking about.
But I'm like, no, let me let Mike cook. Maybe he's cooking.
She's in the movie. We still know who she's playing. I still am cooking, man. I'm in the kitchen.
Like, it's exactly
might be burning a little bit. But...
Playing Max in Spider-Man.
I mean, Joel, look, don't argue with Mike. You don't know. She might be. You never
Max
know.
and Vecna, names I have never heard.
Names you should hear because it's really great stuff.
Good show, yeah.
How many more times do we have to tell you how?
Oh, you got it. I feel like you would love that. Oh my, that was like a whole thing last summer.
Numerous times, it has the two biggest recipes he's ever asked for.
Yeah,
it has sprinkles of gay and powers. That's all he ever asked for, and it has it.
Man, gay too.
There is one season where
well.
early. But
teenage.
Stop, James. Stop. we just leave it at that.
With abs in it.
You like the Red Ranger? He's in it. He's in it as a lifeguard.
Yeah, I saw him.
Plenty abs in there.
That he almost got me to watch it.
Damn.
But they didn't work.
The fact that you would have started that
he was in the last season
2.
That's what I'm saying. See, he came back.
Angry. No, I'm sorry, not season 2. On season 3, would have made me so incredibly angry. Wait,
I almost did it. I saw him. I said, "Oh, Dacre." No.
Oh, that's his. Okay, good. I know how to pronounce his first name. So that's
you
why
like
I said
the guy that I don't remember, the guy that's playing Johnny Storm now. He's also in it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
They're all in
I'm
it.
happy for all of them.
We're gonna move on. He's gonna okay. I want you to lead this one. The damnation storyline for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh wait, you want me to start it and then you just take over once I introduce it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't got it pulled up.
So this is a rumor from Cosmic Circus. We have to give them a shout out because if this is true, it is their rumor. Apparently, Marvel Studios is reportedly planning to adapt the Damnation comic book storyline. In that story, Doctor Strange battles Mephisto, who tries to take over Las Vegas and turn it into a new hell on Earth.
That's an interesting quote. Considering the reason I think this had some meat on the bone is validity is a good one. Is because we just got our introduction to Mephisto. We know they've been trying to bring in the supernatural side of Marvel for a while. Obviously, that's probably gonna kick off after Secret Wars, more or less. So hopefully by then we'll have Blade, Ghost Rider, and some of the characters that we've already seen come back. But I think what's interesting is that the Damnation storyline brings a lot of those characters that we just mentioned in, but also it has like a whole fucking Ghost Rider multiverse side story at the end, like when he brings like Ghost Riders from different universes and shit. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but I thought that was just fun. Like it's just fun little side note. Again, that happens in this specific storyline. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen in this storyline because it's only going to be an adaptation, and obviously their adaptations are never always one for one, especially at Marvel. It's mostly in name only. But that's what it is. You do have it features Doctor Strange, it features Wong, it features Ghost Rider, it features Blade. You know, all of them, they're all there. The Midnight Suns are a big part of that. So it could be possibly the plot of what they do with Midnight Suns. Don't know, not 100% sure. But if they're saying they're hearing this might be one of the plot lines, or at least it's something they're getting close with. I could see some of this being true at least.
Well, they didn't stop there. They also had rumors that Marvel does want to adapt Kazan and Blackheart. So that's a big.
You said Blackheart?
Blackheart.
Blackheart. I would love that actually.
That's already that's the death, isn't it?
No, Blackheart is the son of Mephisto, who they had a nice small part in the first Ghost Rider movie, and unfortunately, he's not portrayed very well.
You said Blackheart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Death and Agatha.
They portrayed. I think she had that logo or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, she was Blackheart.
That's why I assumed she was Mephisto, not Mephisto, Blackheart, because of the picture and that thing. But that's not what she.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, she's actually the manifestation of death.
Right, she's Lady Death. Well, they would call her just Death. But yeah,
that's why I wanted to fully flesh out what you were saying, Trayvon, in case I was wrong.
No, it was just on their list. Remember, Lilia wrote their list down, and she was marked down as Blackheart on the list.
It was the throw.
It definitely was, and Blackheart's an actual character. And if you played Marvel vs. Capcom, he's in that. That's probably the first time I ever heard of him. He was one of the villains in Marvel vs. Capcom. He's this big dude, all black, red eyes, like looking like he had dreads and shit. Good looking guy. But yeah, we never got that in live action. I would love that. That would be pretty cool. We'll probably get a human form, but we can hopefully, we'll see the actual looks of both him and Mephisto at some point in the future if they introduce Blackheart at some point down the line.
Yeah, no, I mean that's interesting. I mean, all this makes sense, but only if they keep what the original concept was for Blade, which was to give us Lilith. Then all that is kind of just it all connects all together, like
all encompassing
boiling pot. I really do hope, Mike. I want to go to you first for this. I really do hope if this all is after Secret Wars, right? You want to go into a more darker, direction for the MCU. I do really hope they stick with giving Blade a solo movie first. I feel like it does more damage to the character to first give us Blade with other people as opposed. Because think about it, like if Moon Knight's part of that team, we would have seen a solo Moon Knight project, but not a solo Blade project. And it's like Blade should have been the easier one for you to sell to people. Like they've already seen a Blade before, right? Like it wouldn't be anything confusing about it. So, Mike, I want to get your thoughts. What would be your thoughts in them going that darker direction? Let's say post Secret Wars. And do you agree with me? Should Blade get his own movie first and then start to dabble into Midnight Suns?
So if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm getting the truck that we filled for Robert Downey Jr. to come back as Doctor Doom. I'm getting 2 of those. I'm sending it to Ryan Coogler's house, and I'm locking him in there for 3 months to get that Blade script, because apparently he can do that in like 2 months' time, and that'll solve all of our problems. What's up, Geekly Goods? It was great.
Sure.
Yes.
But yeah, like I would just, I would try and get this script done. I would get Ryan Coogler on the script any way possible, because I don't know if you can convince Mahershala to come back for a team-up movie if he doesn't get his solo movie anyway. That's the biggest thing. And like listening to him talk during this Jurassic press tour, he don't sound too confident, and that's a massive, massive red flag. That said, team-up movies I think are just going to be what Marvel wants to do a little bit more of, especially post Phase 4 up to this point. A lot of these newer characters didn't have the draw they probably wanted them to. So an easy way to fix that is to bunch them up and put them together. You probably can't get away with Moon Knight season 2, but you can put Moon Knight in a Doctor Strange project because people do like Doctor Strange, you know? So like I can see the logic in that. But yeah, as far as like doing Blade, you want a solo movie, and I don't know if you can get Mahershala on board to not have a solo film at all.
Yeah. I mean, and what also doesn't help is when you keep having Ryan Gosling tell you how much he wants to be Ghost Rider, and it's like, well, I also don't want to see Ghost Rider first appearance in the MCU in a team-up movie. That if you want to do a series, that's fine. If you want to do a movie, that's fine. But it's like, it's gonna hurt some of these characters if the first time we see them is where it looks like Doctor Strange is the OG, and everybody's just working kind of with Doctor Strange, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to everyone's kind of had their own footing, and it's their Avengers movie now. It's them all just coming together for one common cause. So that does concern me. But one thing I did want to say to you, Mike, about locking Ryan Coogler in a room, James Gunn, you're not slick, bitch. I heard you say you made a phone call to Ryan Coogler. You see the cracks in the wall, James. You see them. I know you do, James. You're not slick, bro. You are not slick. So that might not be a phone call they have to make, because he said he's working on what was that alien show?
X-Files.
X-Files.
Please don't just disregard.
I
X-Files
couldn't
as just
remember
that
the
alien
name.
show.
I also, for clarity's sake, I want us to remember that James, the headline is going to be like, he called Ryan Coogler, but the rest of it is, I called Ryan Coogler about the experience at the premiere,
Yeah.
not about anything else. So I just
Right.
wanted to be clear. For now,
Right.
they only
Right.
talked about Marvel and DC premieres and stuff because, of
You know
course,
what that
they're both
sounds
from
like,
Marvel.
Mike? You know what that sounds like? That sounds just as familiar as heading into free agency of Jalen Brunson. The Knicks hired Jalen Brunson's dad. And guess what? Jalen Brunson goes to the Knicks. We know where bullshit is to be sniffed out.
I just want to make sure we don't get anybody's hopes too high is all. Because if nothing ever comes of it, it's like, yeah, they're former coworkers. Of course, they're in communication with each other. But also, get him on static. Thank you.
But also the comments I said earlier, and I think in the group, I was like, you know, Ryan was like, you know, we gotta see who's left to do Black Panther after Secret Wars. So he really has nothing to do with Marvel right now. So he is sitting there, like, let's see.
I would also not trust
Leo's
that.
cooking.
I would also look at it more so as he just doesn't want to tell us whatever he doesn't know.
Okay.
Because to me, think about it. You can't ultimately write your movie, which we know he's been talking about. They're going to start heading into that process. Okay. You can't write your movie if you don't know ahead of time what's going to be happening. So, albeit I doubt Kevin Feige tells anyone everything, I'm pretty sure he'll at least let Ryan know what he needs to know. Before, like, I don't think Kevin Feige is gonna revive a T'Challa, and Ryan Coogler finds out when he sits down to watch the movie with the rest of us. I think he'll know well before.
What if he does though? Like, what if he's sitting down to watch Doomsday and like, oh shit, okay, I know what I got to do now.
Maybe hit him up. You like dancing, right? Cool. All right.
Yeah,
That's all he said to her. That's it.
Here's the thing. He's gonna tell him. He's gonna tell him. Will he have say? Will he be able to say like, "Oh, I don't want to do that"? No. Right. But he's gonna be like, "Hey, just so you know, bro, we doing this. Get that script ready. Here's the actor for you. Let's go."
Yeah.
It's dancing. Figure it out. Thanks.
Yeah,
literally. That's probably what I was doing.
You haven't done too much writing, have you? It's like, nah. Why? What's up? Yeah, I got your new Black Panther, so you should maybe revise a couple pages, maybe. You know,
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy, where they're like, "Hey, we're killing Gamora," and James Gunn just be like, "Who the fuck you are?" And that's why we get a second Gamora.
Right.
Oh, that's crazy.
And don't forget when remember when his mask broke, and then the Russos were just mask back. First thing James did was put that shit in a drawer. He ain't wearing that.
Mask on. Right.
That was the one thing I always loved about James. That James just like, okay, you know what? Okay, do your little bullshit in Infinity War. Wait till I get my Guardians movie. Just wait. Just wait. That's cool. Just wait.
That makes me wonder, like, we get to the Guardians Christmas special and like we steal Bucky's arm. And it's like, was that just like a middle finger to the rest of the MCU? He's like, hey, try and explain how he gets this back. Good luck.
You know what's funny about that?
Off screen.
You think on one hand, there's no way Kevin Feige didn't know about that, right? But on the other hand, could you picture if Kevin said, hey, James, let's not do that. And James just like, sure. And then James is telling the editor, we're definitely doing this. Let's let Kevin answer that later, to which he never did. We still don't know what was what. We have no idea.
The Wakandans have to be so pissed if they had to make him a second arm after the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
This time. Like, this time you got to pay for it.
For sure. 100%.
He ain't got no money.
He's a senator. He better have something.
He got our tax dollars, Didge. That's all he got.
He won the Senate. He won the congressman yet.
I thought he had won it by the time he was in Thunderbolts.
He did, but his arm was taken 2 years prior.
I mean, look, that better have been the first thing he did when he got that. I don't know.
Let's ask for an advance. I need to pay the Wakandans. I'm gonna need
right.
You gotta help me, please.
What happens if you don't pay him? They take my goddamn arm. That's what happens.
Right.
They don't turn it off.
That's my selling point. That's my selling point.
Right off his arm. Like, that might fly right off his body.
They got access to it. They're turning it off and it's locked.
Literally.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Trayvon. I thought this was a good conversation. Did you want to go into your apparent beef with the Hulk?
Why did you look suspicious?
I didn't know what he was gonna say.
Why did you have beef with the Hulk? That's what I want to know.
And I thought he was already suspicious. I didn't even hear the question.
See, that's not what I said. I just said I didn't care about having a solo Hulk movie. I feel like we've had him in a lot of stuff. You've seen different versions of him, and then if the rumors are true about the Spider-Man movie, you get ready to get the Psycho one you want. So that's it. I don't know what else you could do with the Hulk. That's my thing. I don't know if we need a solo one.
Do you still feel the same after our conversation?
I do. I didn't change my mind in the chat.
Stubborn man.
That right there, you're a hater in you, bro. So pretty much, we were having this conversation. Trayvon's like, I don't know what else.
Anybody else heard you, Mike? By the way,
he agrees with me. That's what he said.
I heard it. Nobody else. The way that everybody just went along, just like, all right, we didn't hear a thing. It was like, oh, okay.
Oh, Mike agreed with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Good. It's good to know it's 1v2. My problem with what Trayvon just said was that we literally just had a movie in February where Captain America against two Incredible Hulk villains. I'm like, that's the easiest way to do another Hulk movie is use one of them. Like, easily use one of them. You have a son that we don't know really anything about, and you need to fix how the fuck he looks drastically. So I'm like, there's so many ways you can go that could also be more organic. You said what?
We don't need anything.
What did we need it?
Everything's a luxury. What the fuck are you talking about?
You said we don't
Of all characters, that is what we do not need.
No, we don't need a Wanda movie. We're gonna get one.
Wait, we don't need. Hold on, I'm so confused. We don't
See,
need.
see, you had to go there. See,
You went there first.
You have you have seen Hulk a million goddamn times in this goddamn
you should
universe.
get another movie.
Hold on. First of all,
Now, Trayvon, I'm with you, but also I think we've technically seen Wanda more than we've seen Hulk in the MCU.
I don't agree.
Hold on. And
She had a whole show,
I don't
9
agree.
episodes.
No,
I don't
Mike,
agree.
hold on. Don't only give him that.
She won Scarlet Witch in the last
You
two
could
episodes.
argue-
Let's talk about it.
You could argue that was the WandaVision multiverse of madness. She was almost in that shit almost as much as Doctor Strange was. That was damn near her movie.
It was. She co-starred that shit.
I'm not going to add more
She
to this part of
deserved.
the argument because I am still on Trayvon's side, so we got to stay united on this
No,
part.
but I
yes,
appreciate you switching sides for 5 seconds. I appreciate that.
That's why I stayed silent.
Wanda versus Hulk. Wanda versus Hulk. I'm picking Wanda. Okay.
Is the
Thanks.
truth.
I mean, fair.
I was what I said earlier was like, imagine us getting a Planet Hulk the way
We already
it should have
did.
done instead of no, we didn't. We got
We
half
had
a Planet Hulk. Half. Imagine what was it that led to what? Yeah, we got cut in half. Like, that's bullshit. Imagine getting like an actual Planet Hulk.
We got half. I think all we got was that he happened to be living on the same planet he did in the comic.
We got abbreviated versions of all his, which is fine. They pulled it off. But like, imagine actually, this is one of their biggest IPs they've had to basically contain because they don't want to share any type of money with fucking Universal.
Right.
But that's the thing, though. Everything that you guys have referenced thus far is just kind of like making up for sins of the past. Should we just admit that the ship probably has sailed? Because like you did introduce Planet Hulk stuff 6 years ago, and we just didn't do anything with it.
I'm talking about in past tense. Like we should have had Hulk movies.
Oh yeah, I fully agree there.
I mean, now it's harder because now you've done a lot of the shit. I still think it's doable.
Yeah,
I truly do.
Again,
But like,
it's just in present tense of
You
like,
think it's
do we need a Hulk movie? That's why it's like I don't know if we do because we did all the important stuff, like him becoming Smart Hulk and like him finally controlling that anger, like becoming the perfect merger, should have been a trilogy of movies, and it happened off screen. So at this point in time, I don't know if I need it.
I don't
Right.
disagree, but I do think the one thing as fans of Hulk we do deserve is that if you're going to revert him back to Savage Hulk, which should be the end game, no pun intended, that should be something further explored in a solo movie. And again, I want to remind everyone, we were just introduced to Red Hulk. We were just introduced to the leader. Those are Hulk villains. So you tell me the only chance I get to see the Hulk interact with his villains is in what? Captain America Part 2 with Sam? Like, no, I want to see Hulk versus his villains.
it is odd. Like they literally did give his villains to Captain America.
It's odd, but I don't think you're gonna see them again. So
I don't think you go through the trouble of bringing in Harrison Ford and then never use them again. Because you could have just killed him at the end of the movie if that was the case. Just kill him. I mean, you kill all your other.
I do believe we'll see that. And what capacity and where, I don't know. But
That I don't know. That I don't know. But
Maybe
to me,
you saving
that's
his death
also
for Doomsday.
you said what, Ditch?
Maybe you saving his death for the Avengers films.
No, if he dies, then he dies. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Red Hulk.
If you plan on never using him again, then just treat him.
that's a nice weapon to have in your back pocket, though. That's what I'm saying, bro. We're there.
Yeah. Harrison Ford to just pull out whenever you need to. I'm just saying we're on our fourth Spider-Man movie. We'll be on our fifth Thor movie, and we're arguing the fact that I just want Hulk to have his second. I don't think that's too much to ask. I think there's plenty of story there to utilize. Black Widow can be a whole movie after her character dies. Well, technically, we had
she deserved it.
a solo Hulk movie. I'm just saying
That
I
too.
think we deserved another one. I don't
It's
understand.
but that's why it bothers me because like this, it's not like he's a throwaway character. He's a major Marvel character that's had to take a back seat for so long. It's like it's almost unfair to the character as a whole.
Right.
And it's
I
like,
agree with you there. It's just Marvel. This is the biggest franchise of all time. Disney could have just manned up and bought the rights back from Universal at this point.
I don't get it. I don't know what's going on with that, but
Yeah.
it is annoying. It's very, very annoying because we've heard rumors that they want to do a Hulk movie. Then I'm like, if that's the case, then that the rights issues are resolved, right? If that's the case, but nothing has come of it. Everything has been rumors so far, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
because like the Universal deal is so strange because on one hand, I get the Sony thing. They don't want to give up Spider-Man because they're making money from Spider-Man.
Right.
Universal's actively just sitting here saying, we're not going to let you make a Hulk movie. And it's like,
it's crazy.
give them $1 billion and get the character back.
I'm sure Universal would be okay with making movies. It's just Marvel don't want to share. That's really what it comes down to.
Money. Yeah, for sure.
That's
what it comes down to. I mean, look, Mike, I get your point. If it was that important to the MCU, they would have done whatever they needed to make it happen. I don't disagree. But if the rumors have any validity to it, and the MCU does want to do a Hulk movie, that does either mean a deal was struck, or they did get the rights back. And either or, I do think that Hulk should have his own movie. You shooing him in. And that was the thing that made Infinity War hurt so much, is that we've seen him as a secondary character since his first movie, that when it's like time for him to step up against a big dog, it's like, oh, he gets punked out and then, he just becomes an advocate of peace. And it's like, well, that sucks. Like, we didn't really get to see the cool stuff of him versus Red Hulk and the leader and stuff like that. So for me, that sucks. That sucks. Jamie, do you care at all if Hulk ever gets a solo movie again?
I would be happy to see one. I really liked watching the Incredible Hulk movies growing up, and I actually watched the Hulk TV show not when it was actually first airing, but when I was a kid, like it was kind of just playing on TV.
The marathons.
Yeah. But I really liked it, so I was here for it. I was like, let me find the Hulk channel. Where's the Hulk channel?
Sci-fi channel.
Yeah. So I would totally be down for another Hulk movie. I haven't liked the Hulk's portrayal in the recent MCU times. Like, I feel like Incredible Hulk, you really get to see like that animalistic, like what you were saying, like savage side of Hulk. Not that I don't like Smart Hulk, but I feel like we didn't get enough of like the savagery or like the rawness that I really liked from the Incredible Hulk, and even a little bit with like the TV show. So I would love to kind of insert more of that, into the MCU's Hulk.
No, I completely agree.
You may get your wish, Gene.
Mike, Midge, I'll kick it to you. Do you care at all if Hulk ever gets another solo movie?
Not really. You didn't hear me when I said 3 when
I heard you.
I heard you.
I doubled down after that.
I joined their side. I used to care. I really did. I would have been, if this was 3-4 years ago, I'd have been right along with you. Like, man, we really need a Hulk film. And I think a part of me probably still feels that on some level. But as Mike said, it's just kind of like, the ship sailed. I'm tired. Let's just go on to the next.
I don't even know where you would go because, again, it all just sounds like character regression, right? Like he goes back to being Savage Hulk, and it's like, so 10 years of character development. Like, even if you don't love the movies, that's still 10 years of character development that this guy has gotten.
I think there's a middle ground that can be had.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, I admit I might just not be seeing it, but like as it stands right now, I don't know.
You're right. The whole point was to him have some type of character development, full circle moment, and that's what was him merging with the Hulk and becoming one, which I never complained about it. I didn't mind it happening. My only issue with that happening was he never got his get back with Thanos, in my opinion. Like, it never fully He did his snap thing. I appreciate that, but he never got that one last hit off. You know, it bothers me a little bit.
Yeah,
But
look back.
right, it never did, and it bothers me a little bit. Considering Hulk is one of my favorite characters, so it's like one of those things where, I didn't mind the progression. We are at Smart Hulk now. I do. If the rumors are true, we will get at least a version of the Savage Hulk back. If that's the case, then that's what people want anyway. You know, we're back. That's the Hulk we know and love. And now, if it comes down that at the end of the day, there's some type of middle ground where he's kind of a little bit of both, I could take that. Just give me something. It just can't be what it is right now. It has to be. Hey, you got to give us back Savage Hulk in some capacity. And I think that I like what in the comics are doing something called Imperial. I think it's called Imperial. That what they're doing there is something that could definitely be done later. That has to be now, and Hulk's super involved in that. So we'll see. So I do believe there are places they can go with it. It's just I really don't know. We're talking about we want it or we don't, and I don't know if they can. And that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, you know, I want us to just be a unified front and fight for more She-Hulk, because clearly they can do that. Bring She-Hulk back. That makes me happy.
I would not be against that.
Let me say this. You know how you can get the best of both worlds? They love making a Hulk character secondary.
They definitely lost Trayvon.
Make a Hulk movie and just put She-Hulk in there with Hulk. Easy. Boom.
It's because She-Hulk likes Megan, so it's over.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
God forbid.
This is straight facts. This is straight facts.
Oh, I love it. The banter between the two of them is great. Yeah, and that I would, know. But I also love the versions of him that were like semi-smart, where he could talk a little bit.
Yes,
he's kind of broken. Like we kind of saw in Thor Ragnarok a little bit. That version of the Hulk, I love that version of the Hulk. You see it in Avengers, Earth Met His Hero. He talks, but he also fights with Banner inside his head. I mean, and they go back and forth. I do love that.
Earth Met His Hero's Hulk is interesting because he's fully developed. Like, he speaks in full sentences. He knows he's well aware of everything that's going on, but he's also like, no, it's my time to be out. Right. I'm not letting Banner out.
Right.
And that battle between the two is so interesting.
It is.
I wish that's something we could have got here. Especially after that first Avengers movie. I think that would have been a perfect time to have another Hulk film. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. I keep getting offended the more Mike keeps making it sound like Hulk died.
His character arc is over. That's all I'm saying.
I've never had that. It's like we gotta hope, Mike. Gotta have hope.
There's a soft reboot apparently coming, so maybe once we're in that era, we can do it. But as it stands right now,
unless I'm not Banner. Mark walks away from the role and they kill him off. That's different. Then we move on. We focus on She-Hulk or whoever, and they're Hulk now, and that's different. And it's a whole. We haven't touched those stories yet, so right now, let's give us some closure.
Yeah. Until that day happens, hope will still be kept alive.
Yeah,
I mean, you're giving Thor his 5th movie, and many can argue 3 of them were whiffs, right? I'm not upset of giving my boy a regressive sequel. I'm not against it. We accept some mediocrity in the MCU. I'm just saying.
You got hope.
What? You said what?
That shouldn't have got me, but it did.
That 5th Thor movie was not confirmed yet, so just relax. All right, you just want to see Hercules naked anyway. You don't even give a fuck about Thor. Nasty ass. Anyway,
I enjoy them both.
Right? Sure. We remember you drooling over just Hercules.
Do we forget the scene in there? I mean, okay. All right.
Let me see. No, I try not to remember anything that you're talking about. How about that?
I know. I see.
I've been hearing a lot of great conversation about Fantastic Four. It sounds godly, and I appreciate it. What was I gonna say? I want to do one more thing. Oh wait, I did want to talk about that. Denny, let me say this, man. I know you're working on Dune 3 and you're about to do James Bond. I'm very proud of you, but you got to meet me halfway. you can't do Dune 3. I'm sorry, dog. It can't just be called Dune 3. It just doesn't vibe right with me at all. You got to give it something. You got to give it something. I hate that. Like, I hate it so much. You gave us Messiah, right? You got to give us, can it be Dune 3 Mecca, right? No, something? Just, like, give me something, dog.
It reeks of corporate branding.
Like, come on, man. It's a little stale. Like, I mean, that's about to take the goddamn desert. It is just staying in line with what the second one was. Like,
no, yeah, but it's a little disingenuous because that's part 2 of the first book. This is a completely different book.
Fair.
And to honor that, you know, it's like you don't say Lord of the Rings Fellowship Part 2. You know,
that's fair.
So what's the name of the book?
Messiah, Dune Messiah.
Oh.
Which is what we've been calling this third movie until they officially said it's Dune Part 3. It's like, okay. Which is also confusing because it's the second book, because we split the first book into 2 parts, so it's not even the third book being called Dune Part 3. It's a little weird. It's whatever though.
So I did want to end on this. James Gunn did say, guys, hold on to your seats. He has indeed read Batman 2 script. He's read it. He's read it, people. And he said
All right, go ahead. You said what?
It's great. He said it's great.
That's what he said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What would you like him to say?
I'm just making sure he said something. Not just he read it. That's all I'm asking. Okay.
I wanted him to say I need a second draft just to send the internet in a spiral.
No, I tell you right now, we would have had to see Matt Reeves. We would have had to see him. That ain't no more waiting. No more of that bullshit. So that's good news. James did also say he's still working tirelessly with his writer for Brave and the Bold. Still not necessarily where they want it to be, but they're working tirelessly. I'm telling you this right now. Didge, I'm gonna start with you. I swear on everything that's glorious. When that man says we got this script, I better leave Brave and Bold way more elated than I left the Batman 2. Because all this, we just don't know. It's just so hard to figure it out. What can we do?
And this is why saying stuff like that, that's why you're going to get Batman 2. That's be 3 more years after that until you get Brave and the Bold. So that you have enough time in between. That's why. Saying stuff like that.
It wouldn't matter. I would still say the same thing. Like, damn, 3 years ago, I had a better Batman movie. Like, it's still the same thing. It wouldn't omit it.
All right, it'll be 5 years. Keep talking.
Nice.
If you get a Batman movie in 2 years and then gotta wait another 5 years, is that not the same situation I'm in now? Like, what's the difference? Anyway, Didge, your thoughts on him saying he's finally read Matt Reeves' script, thinks it's great, and the fact that he's still somewhat trying to find his proper footing for Brave and the Bold.
On the first part, about damn time. Shout out to LeBron for giving LeBron. And tell me it's filming for that. That's all. That's the only other thing I got for the Batman Part 2, because it's like anything else, it's just continuous wait. At regards for the Brave and the Bold, I kind of also is like, just tell me when you got something actionable, because it's like I'm also tired of waiting, and it's tell me who your Batman's going to be so I can stop, terrorizing Joel by saying, it might be Pattinson. Just give me a name so I can put me out of my misery one way or the other.
Please.
I'll tell you Comic-Con 2029.
Oh,
I'm just going to tell you.
Stop, please. But it's just, I think I'm tired of waiting. That's the easiest way I can put any of this. It's just, it feels like we're being slow drip fed, and I'm over it, especially after seeing Superman, because now I'm just super high on the universe as a whole, and it's like now I need more.
I just want to prove me wrong. Them doing both at the same time. That's all. Do it. Prove me wrong.
There's no way you're doing both at the same time.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm gonna just be completely honest, just to get this out there. I feel like I'm gonna have to hear Trayvon say this for the next 3 years.
You will.
It's just Batman that we get. I'm 100% okay with that. If Brave and the Bold never happens, or if Batman 2 never happens, but the other does, I will sleep soundly at night. At this point, I just want Batman. Simply put, I just don't care anymore.
You sound like a villain.
It's not a preference. It's just I want
Okay,
Batman.
Lex.
Bring me the bat. Like, all right, bro.
That's gonna be the argument for like the next 5 years. Is well, you know, they're not gonna do it at the same time. Well, guess what? Now you don't have to pick one. How about that? There you go. Pattinson, great. Let's move on.
You know, Juwan, for you not to care, you sure do care, because the news was the script is finished, which we should be happy, and you immediately turned that into the Brave and the Bold better be better than the Batman. Like, you're making this a problem for yourself, but it's like you're getting Batman. The script is done. Be happy
about both of these at the same time, and it's conflicting me, Mike. It's conflicting me, bro.
Okay? I told you what needs to happen. I know
how beautiful that was.
I told you what needs to happen
on the big three. I'm sorry, Didge. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. I keep saying what needs to happen. James Gunn, listen to me. Just listen to me only. You know what you need to do. You know in your heart of hearts what needs to be done. Make the right choice.
It's what needs to be done. The opposite.
It is not. You won't have to worry about all of your questions then. You won't have to worry about, oh my God, is the Batman 2 going to be better than the Brave and the Bold? Because guess what? It's all in together. It's all in together. Telling you know what needs to be done. James Gunn, again, listen to me.
Let me get this out of
the whole concept of Brave and the Bold is out the window if that happens.
I will not be talking about this shit anymore until there's actual news to talk about.
Damn,
I'm reading a script
silent for 5 years, man.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how long it takes, I will not talk. I'm not talking about Batman until there's news to talk about. I'm not talking about script reading anymore. No, just the movies.
I'm just saying. You said I'm not talking about Batman. I just want to throw it out there. We might get an Arkham game.
Don't make this more complicated than it already is. You seem to get confused very easily. All right. My point is, I'm not talking about scripts anymore. Once like the movie, we get casting and stuff like actual news, I will talk about that. I'm not talking about if you read a fucking script anymore. I don't care.
Wait, why are you not talking Superman anymore? I heard you throw that in there. Did you just make a mistake and say Batman? Just say Superman when you meant Batman?
I said Superman. That was an accident.
Okay, just to make sure. I'm like, wait, what happened?
That's how angry James then got Joel. He's like, fuck everything.
I'm not angry. I'm just tired of having the same. We have the same conversation almost every week. I'm done talking about a script. I'm done.
And that, folks, is what James Gunn wants. He wanted to break us to the point where he's like, you know what? We're going to wait till it's ready. And he's like, good. That's what I told y'all to do in the first place.
That's all I'm doing now. I'm not talking about anything other than actual news.
Well, it should get a lot easier for us now that Superman will officially be out this week, because all the press runs and media runs should be out of his system till August. We have to go back through this again for Peacemaker.
I know he's not doing like a full DC thing. Like, he's going to be at Comic-Con still, right? Like, they're doing a Peacemaker thing. So I wouldn't say out of his system.
That's a wild name, but that's not a true statement. You do not necessarily have to. I do believe here's the thing. At the end of the day, you have to remember Reeves did not create Batman. So if James did want to take Pattinson, it does not have to be with Matt Reeves attached. It could easily be, we're just taking him and we're going to do whatever we want with him once we have him. So those two things don't have to be in sync. One doesn't have to necessarily mean the other. You could still get a comic accurate Joker, for sure. So I don't think those two things, I don't think that should have to be an issue for you.
I think the question that we're not asking, the one that's kind of important, is who is writing the script? Because James Gunn's like, oh, the script's not there yet. I'm working with the writer. And it's like, who is writing Batman? And I'm wondering if James is just secretly writing the movie himself at this point.
And just wants somebody to blame. He's like, it's a writer.
He's not blaming someone. He didn't give a name. So that
it takes the heat off of him.
Yeah, we know who wrote the Titan script, right? Like, that's the first thing that was announced. Who wrote Supergirl. But we don't know who's writing Brave and the Bold. And it's clearly an active development because James keeps talking about it. And that's just really weird to me. That's all.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you.
Because
to be fair, as we start to wrap this up, to be fair, I might not reveal my Batman writer because I'm watching you all shit down the throat of Matt Reeves, who's writing that Batman movie. So
that's also fair.
It's not Andy Muschietti, is it?
No, he's just the director. And it was even to the point where James was like, we're going to show him the script once it's ready and see if he's a fit for the movie. Which means he's not even 100% confirmed for the movie, which is wild. Okay.
Even that I believe, is fluent. I believe he said it because they had already attached him to it. But I think as time goes by, it's going to be like, yeah, no, we didn't stick with Andy. We moved on.
That's fair. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. So that makes even more sense. Why
I think Andy is just a placeholder. Because think about it. Once James walks out of the shadows and says, "The Batman Brave and Bold script is done," then people will go, "Well, we already have a director. The script's done. Now we can move forward." And then that'll be up to James to go about that, or yeah, we're good to go. So it's not a bad thing to have in the back pocket. Is that you have a concept of a director that you could choose to still keep. Yeah, you never know.
I'm just saying, y'all gonna be shocked when that script's gonna be written by Matt Reeves on it.
I don't think there will be a shock. I think it'll just at that point be a relief. All right, we're moving on. At least we just know something at this point. When you said, Mike, it sounds, for someone who doesn't care, it sounds like I care a lot. I want to remind you, we did go through this before with Matt Reeves when Ben was writing the script and directing, and then it went to Matt Reeves, and then we lost the whole Batman and had to go through casting again. It was hell. It was pure hell. And I'm like, there's no fucking way we're here again. There's just no way. So that's why, if it sounds like I'm too emotional, it's like, it's just deja vu. That's what it's starting to feel like. It's deja vu. I think Pattinson and Corn Sweat would be awesome. World's Finest. I want to see Pattinson in Guns Universe. You may get what you're asking for. You may.
James Gunn.
I did want to say it does look like we're getting that new patch for Rivals this week, right? For Phoenix?
Friday.
Season 3?
Yep. Yeah, and we're getting a new level. Seems like we're only get one of those. I mean, if they wanted to, I wouldn't be against each new level you give us, you take one of the old ones away. I'm not against that if you guys just want to, maybe think about it.
No, we need a bigger map pool, not a smaller one.
Well, then you got it. I have to stop feeling like I'm in that one Venom level a million goddamn times, more so than any other.
This new level.
I was gonna say that, Joel. It's like they're adding a new one, but it's another symbiote stage, and I hate that so much.
That is true.
It's gonna feel like the same one that we already have. It's like, guys,
it's outdoors, and I believe it's the what's it called? Oh my god, I can't remember what are they called. The big fuckers.
Celestial. I don't find that name.
Celestial.
Oh, I like your name.
Jimmy Olsen.
So we
I don't think I do agree we need more maps on Rivals because I feel like we don't see all of the ones that we have currently. Like, remember last time we were playing, Mike, we were like, bro, we ain't seen Wakanda in forever.
Yeah, they need to fix their system. They either have the bad rotation of maps or they just need to add more maps, because I think I went a week without playing on Wakanda up until that point.
Yeah.
And it's like, I thought that map was just out of rotation. Because I know Overwatch would retire maps some seasons and then they would bring them back. I think Rivals just needs a better system to cycle through them all.
Yeah.
I played so much at this point where I've learned to hate certain maps. Where it's like, all right, well, I don't like you anymore, and it takes you there more than one time, and then you learn to hate it more. And I don't want to hate maps, but that's just kind of where we're at.
Or like the map where I think it's Krakoa, where you got to do the
I like the Krakoa map.
The
so
portals.
Far.
No, not the portal ones. I really love, but the one where you're escorting the I don't know what. The other tree person?
Oh, the car. What's it called?
I couldn't remember the name.
Krakoa and Akaro, I think. Akaro.
The one where you got to move.
The one in
Groot.
space.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the one you got to move group. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the easiest way to put it. I
It's
swear
great.
I played that once every like 3 weeks. Like,
Played it recently a couple times.
Yeah. So we'll be getting that this Friday.
Rocco.
Also,
Rocco.
okay.
we'll be getting over in Fortnite. We're going to be getting in the Blitz mode, which I've only been playing. The regular Fortnite is dead to me. I've only been playing Blitz. Apparently, Blitz will be reintroducing us to Mega City, which is the most fun I've had playing Fortnite.
We're getting Dragon Ball too, right? I think.
Yes.
Blitz.
Yes. We are. Yep. Right now is the Ninja Turtles. All
Woo!
right. Woo! None of these are announcements you haven't heard already, man. Goodness. So Blitz will be doing a lot of anime-inspired mythics
Look at the purple
update.
That's a throwback.
Um,
We also get a Mr. Terrific skin this week. So
yes,
that's dope.
and the engineer.
Yeah.
The engineer.
Yeah.
I mean, let's show her a little love tonight. It's okay, just like a little bit. And if you bought the battle pass, you'll be able to unlock the Superman emotes and stuff like that for the Superman portion of the battle pass this Friday. One of them is the where in the trailer where he's saving the girl from like all those metal things falling on her. Instead, in Fortnite, he's saving the what was it? It was a pinata. It's like a pinata. He saved it instead.
What is it called?
Fortnite llamas.
The llamas.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Both those games are going to be hitting off this weekend for me. Also seeing Superman again. Jamie, did you see Superman yet?
I have not seen it yet, but my mom was like, "Let's go see it on Friday," and I was like, "I'll hold you to that." So
Now, do you rent out the whole theater, or do they like clear it for you?
They have a theater attached to the mansion, Jawan. Come on
I'm
now.
sorry.
Oh, you
You're
guys
right.
are just lazy then. You guys don't want to go in there. How far is this other wing? Jesus Christ.
That's I'm sorry.
mhm.
You know what? There is actually a theater. Like there are theaters now. I mean, most theaters you can rent them out. But I mean, in New York, there's an actual place where you can rent out a smaller theater and like almost like a private theater for you and your friends to watch current movies. It's gonna be opening soon. I forget the name of it, but I'm excited, even though it's probably gonna cost an arm and a leg. Like
The Marcus theaters, I think it's like $100 to rent out.
it's
I was
around
just gonna
there.
say,
Actually.
I've done it before.
Yeah,
It's great.
Oh, see,
It's great.
it's surprisingly cheap because it's like if it's $100 and each ticket was going to cost me like 20 anyway, then
yeah.
we're good.
After 5 friends, you're set.
Yeah, it's good for like birthday parties and stuff. That was only something I like, but still, I mean, it's for people that like movies and kids that'll sit still and not fucking talk. I don't want to get into it. But
Or even if they
Oh,
don't
man.
sit still, you keeping them away from everybody else. So good job, y'all.
Yeah.
Not go past the trigger moment, man. He triggered himself.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was thinking
I understand.
the idea was really good until I realized no, they won't shut up. I won't enjoy the movie.
Did I tell you about? I don't know if you were there when I was talking about my Mission Impossible movie experience, but there was a child sitting next to me that just like absolute no theater etiquette at all. I'm not gonna go through all the examples, but there's one in particular. So there was a scene where like people were getting shot at inside this cabin, so you really hear like all the gunfire and everything. And I feel my chair like start moving, and I'm like, what's happening? And it's literally the kid sitting there going, like, not only is she doing that, she's going, ah! I'm looking at her parents like, are y'all serious with this? Like, what is going on? Oh, they just let her do everything. I'm like, so the parents are letting her do this. The movie attendant's not gonna say anything. I don't want to like break this girl's spirit, but she's also breaking mine at the same time. So, oh yeah. Some kids, y'all need to do better. Y'all need to do better, parents.
Can't be afraid to fight kids, Jamie.
I would have went reported them, all of them.
Eliminate that fear from.
At least get a free ticket out of it, you know?
Right?
I'm going
Speaking
right
of, did you
outside.
get
I'm
anything
getting
for
disturbed.
your mishap, Mike? I meant to ask you.
No, because since the trailers technically didn't even start, they're like, "Oh, you're good."
Damn.
Mm.
Did they find the seat?
They fixed it. They fixed the chair.
Oh,
So
they
that's
fixed
why
the
it's
chair?
like that's why I didn't press it, because for the people listening, chair was busted at Superman. Luckily, trailers haven't even started. Somebody came, took them like 10 minutes to get it fixed. And throughout all of that, it was just ads. So they're just like, all right, you're good. And I'm like, okay. I'm just standing there with my popcorn on the
It
side.
was legit crazy. Like I said, Mike was right behind me. So at one point, I don't even know what made me turn around. I think I was about to say something, and I just see the chair flipped over. I was like, oh. And Mike standing off to the side. So I'm like, you good? What happened? Like,
Yeah.
Hey,
They fixed it though, so it worked out. They fixed it before the trailer started. So
the
we're
fact
good.
they fixed it so fast
really
makes me
good.
feel like that's a problem chair, and they knew.
right?
They actually did it because the one guy's like, I don't know what's going on with this thing. And they had to get 2 more people to show up, and it's like, oh, okay.
That's
Mm.
crazy.
This happened
At
to
least
me
you
with a completely different theater, with a completely different chair during How to Train Your Dragon. And I'm like, why am I, out of the 100 seats in this building, why is it always mine the one that's not working?
That's bad luck. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's rough.
I don't remember the last time I had to pick my own seat. Joel usually does it.
Oh.
So I've never had those issues. And I pick the seats. I don't really know what to say. How's it get?
I trust no one but myself. No, it's not that hard. Actually.
Fair. That's fair.
Pick the fucking middle. How hard is it? Right there. Not too far. Very simple.
Yeah, very centered. I didn't get a chance to say it from before, but I did see Megan 2.0.
How was it?
Had a lot of fun with it.
It doesn't sound like you did.
That was
No.
a hard sign
Yeah.
for a movie he
started
liked.
to wear on me that we're not going to get a third, and I was getting upset.
Okay.
He triggered himself.
Right?
On the show.
I didn't crash out like Joel did, but I damn sure did just trigger myself. That's for sure. But I did thoroughly enjoy that movie. That was a lot of fun. And I do see what they were saying about why they wanted it different than the first one. It was a lot of fun. I don't know. I don't know why people just chose to not see that movie at all. But, whatever. Outside of that, let me see. Yeah, no, that's it. Didge. Let them know where they can find you.
You can find me at DidgeD everywhere. It is DIDGEDEE, as you can see below my name. It is that in all locations, putting out stuff. Check it out. And then also find me on Geek Set Podcast at Geek Set Podcast everywhere, where we are now weekly. So,
Ooh.
Dang.
woo!
They cooking up. They're cooking up over there. They cooking up. Mike, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me at #GunControl. I'm kidding. You can find me at Novice Cinephile everywhere. The Novice Cinephile on Instagram and the Chatter After. We're going to be live with Superman on Film on Monday. Spoilers regarding Superman. So yeah, if you guys want us to keep talking Superman, there's going to be full spoilers Monday night on the Chatter After.
Cool.
I'm sorry. I had to get myself together after that, Mike.
It's been gun control down here on the screen the entire show. I'm just putting that out there.
It has.
Oh,
Damn.
God.
Do those glasses work? Are they fake?
No.
That's as fake as Clark Kent's prescription. I
Glasses
tell
are
you, man.
extremely fake. Yeah. I don't have bad vision at all. I'm gonna gain it doing that though. Jamie, let them know where they can find you.
You guys can find me at Swiper_Prime doing all the gaming things. And I'm starting up with Swiper_Shampblue where I'm talking about gaming things. So that's been fun too. So either way, if you like gaming, I recommend checking out both.
Absolutely. And Trayvon, where can they find you?
I guess Nerd with the Tech if you want to.
I guess.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all better go check that out, man. Check it out.
Yeah, everywhere. Prepare yourself because Friday I will be posting spoilers for Superman. So just tell you that right now.
Fair.
Dang.
Red is funny.
What time?
Jamie, just delete Twitter.
I wake up at 5 a.m. usually, so
Damn. A 5 a.m. tweet
Yeah,
fest
no.
of spoilers is
I will
wild.
not be talking to Trayvon most of the day.
Now, Trayvon, I say this lovingly. This movie don't come out till Friday, bro. I
It's
know that
come out
there's
Thursday.
Thursdays. I know that there's Thursday like advanced showings, but come on, get to Saturday.
Yeah,
Get to Saturday.
Wait, hold on. The funny thing about Trayvon needing to tweet is that he spent yesterday talking to us about the movie, spent today talking to us about the movie. What is there left to say?
We've been talking about it in Discord.
I have yet to post gifts. I haven't posted
Well,
one
post them
yet.
to us.
Not
Don't start
one.
ruining people's Friday mornings, Trayvon.
5 a.m. Friday morning at that. That's what makes it so crazy.
I'm just
Fine.
looking for Trayvon at 5:01 on Friday morning to be like, "Fuck, baby Joey, man."
Fine.
Bro,
I'll wait.
the
Fine.
thing
fine.
did that is like that's killing me about him saying that is I remember when the Luke Skywalker Mandalorian thing happened, I was up at 3 a.m. That was people's profile picture by 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm like, no one's right.
Yeah.
We're gonna log into Twitter and just go, what is happening? Why is there Luke everywhere?
I saw it as like I was scrolling Twitter as I was watching it, and I saw it, and I'm like, all right, I don't know what that profile picture is about. Let me go ahead and close Twitter.
Bro,
Fine. Wait till Saturday now. Okay.
I'm like,
Fine.
bro, I'll just stay up at 3 a.m. I know me. First instinct. Well, I'll be at work early in the morning. I won't get a chance to watch it before going to work. So surfing the internet or surfing, Twitter while you're at work. It's like I can't afford to be spoiled. I will crash out.
Yeah.
I'll lose sleep today. I'll just watch it, go back to sleep, and then go on about my day. But tweeting it at 5 a.m. on a Friday morning, Trayvon.
Not even a holiday week. Like if it was last week, you could at least been like, more people were probably off for the 4th. Maybe they went out on Thursday night. People had to work all day. Got to go to work.
Okay, that is true. Okay.
The fact that Dish had to say that for that to compute with you is insane. Yeah, maybe people do have to work. And
I won't be seeing it till after work, so.
Well, I'm taking off half a day tomorrow to see it again. So
Yeah, level up, Jamie. You need to be taking days off apparently.
After seeing it already.
Right.
to be fair, I had this one planned first, and I just didn't cancel it. I was like, well,
There you go.
Oh, okay.
I would have canceled it for something more comfortable. I ain't gonna hold you.
Wait, you were still gonna pull a half day to see this?
yeah, I'm seeing it at 4
Not-
o'clock.
not
I'm seeing it at 4 p.m.
Yes.
Oh,
It is.
I'm seeing it at 4 p.m. Yes.
all right. My apologies.
I'm not trying to drive back from the office. No.
The level of dedication, by the way, for somebody who didn't even want this universe to happen, is impressive. I love the turnaround.
To be fair, I do this for all superhero movies. Okay. Fantastic Four also, I've already took off half a day for that as well.
Sure. I still would like to go with
So-
James Gunn is all powerful. He turned the non-believers into believers. That's power.
No one's as creative as James
Do you
Gunn.
want me to switch? Do you want me to change? Stop.
I mean, your money's already in the bank, so no. I mean, it's up to you if you want to change now. but
ANC A-list can't be canceled.
You've already contributed. No, the ticket you bought to go see it Tuesday, you've already paid for.
And you didn't A-list for that one.
Guys, if you like this, subscribe, like. We'll see you next week.
Wait, hold on. And on top of that, we already have on file 2 nights in a row how much you loved it. Job's already done. Jobs already. There's nothing you can do to
I
go
could have
back
just did that so y'all don't attack me.
You said what?
You never do that.
I don't know. I feel like I can tell if you're just saying it so you don't get attacked. I feel like I can tell. I never be pressing it, but I'm like, I feel like I could tell.
Trayvon, you need to be passive aggressive on Letterboxd. That's what you need to do. You need to be like logged 2 stars and never say anything.
Oh dang! I just been doing that. I wasn't trying to be passive aggressive.
We would have known in one way or another. But I want to thank Didge, Mike, Jamie for joining us today. Hopefully, we see you guys back next week when we can actually talk spoilers.
And Jamie can talk, period.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely, yeah. I keep forgetting, that's right. You did come in right when we were done talking everything Superman. We did non-spoiler, but still.
You know, in a way, it was like I wasn't intending to be late, but at the same time, I'm like, I feel like they'll talk about Superman first. It's okay if I'm a little later. Like, I'll be okay.
It worked out for you. I mean, that would have been funny if we talked nothing about Superman and you still.
Yeah, then I'm like, dang, I was wrong.
Trayvon's gonna ruin the movie for everybody.
I'm not.
Y'all
I'm
are
gonna talk about it until Saturday.
I will say, Jamie, it is a blessing we had this conversation with Trayvon because the amount of angry tweets he would have got spoiling that movie at 5 a.m. would have been crazy. So
I was getting ready to start scheduling tweets, so y'all
Oh man,
Keep scheduling. Just push him a day.
It wasn't even going to be him tweeting it in the moment. He was planning the that is
That
weird.
makes it worse in a way because like you're doing the act of tweeting now, which I guess is satisfying like that dopamine hit you need. But then just set the schedule for Monday or Tuesday to be nice for everyone else.
Okay, fine.
No, he doing Saturday for sure.
I'm doing Saturday.
I'm telling you right
I
now,
know.
we will see these tweets Friday.
Friday at
That'd be Saturday.
11:58 p.m.
I'm just
Maybe
preparing
Saturday.
for it. We will see these Friday. But thank you to Joel and Trayvon as always. We will see you guys next week. I'm not gonna promise you any streaming for anything gaming this week.
Ooh.
No, we got to stream Phoenix gameplay. We got to be bad at it and post it online.
Well, me and Joel will be in the movies Friday night, and then
I'll be at the
we're
Brewers
going
game
out
Friday,
Saturday
so.
night. So
Oh, hitting the streets! I see y'all.
Double
yeah,
date.
kind of.
Everybody going outside. Look at that.
We
Yeah,
got a double date on Saturday.
No,
that's
it's
Mm.
true. So
Y'all better not be going to the hibachi place because you know that's a us thing.
Hey,
we are not.
Okay, good.
we're not. That's a hell of an idea.
No, don't do it. I'll find out. I call the people like, hey, do you see anybody that
To catch a cheater.
She did mention she wanted to do. She's never been to Benihana. I'm trying to keep it that way.
It's about
Yeah,
the
that's not bad.
sameness.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it that way, man. One
All
time
right.
I went to
What
Benihana.
prices?
I was so full. I looked at that bill. I said, "Oh yeah, no, never again." It was good though. I appreciate y'all.
What?
Never
You
again.
gotta dish out for the good things in life, Jawan.
Oh, sure. Just won't be that place again. Anyway.
What?
Thanks so much.
Well, I went for
Like we said, make sure you guys tune into everyone's content. There's so much content just amongst us, let alone the content amongst the people in the comment section. Shout out to Leo, Real Anarchy, DJV. I don't even know if DJV does content, but follow him anyway. He might start. I don't know. Him and Trayvon have something cooking up. I don't know.
King Dingaling. Yep.
Of course, that's what we're gonna get out of here. All right, good night.
wait, what? What the hell did I miss?
Just